Hello, Salesforce developers. My name is John Dillon, and we're here to talk about Apex programming. So today we're going to actually just jump into the topic of SOQL queries. It's not exactly programming, but you use it a lot when you're doing just about anything in Salesforce. And when it comes time to working with Apex, that's your number one way to get the data from the system. And let's just jump right in. So what we'll look at is accounts, and we can query any object, but accounts is kind of a basic object in Salesforce. And when you're querying objects, you're looking for specific information on, objects that are contained in the system. And there's lots of ways to use SOQL, and a lot of people like to use Workbench. I'm going to actually have us do these SOQL queries in Developer Console. It's a tool that I use frequently, and it's always there. It always works, pretty much. And then I know sometimes sometimes Workbench works fine, and sometimes it's flaky. So in my experience, I stick to Dev Console. So in the Dev Console, we've got down here on the bottom side of the screen, we've got the query editor. It's just one of the tabs along the bottom, and we're not going to be doing any code today, so I'm going to expand this a bit. And the basic SOQL syntax is you do a select. If anyone has experience with SQL, some of this is going to look real familiar. It's got a lot of similarities to SQL, although some key differences. So this is your most basic SOQL statement. Select ID from account. ID is a column or a field on the account object. So basically you're selecting a field from an object or multiple fields. Now, unfortunately, you don't have this. People who are familiar with SQL will recognize you can select star, which means gives me all the columns. But we have to be very specific in Salesforce. So let's just do two columns from account. We'll do name and ID and name. And then we hit the execute button down here. I should have given myself some more space. And we see our rows up at the top. So, and if we look at the accounts here, we're going to see some overlap. Gene Point, United Oil and Gas, So, and if we need more columns, you just add them here. And one way to know what columns are available to you is to check the setup page. We'll go to setup and go to Object Manager. And we click on Account, Fields and Relationships. We'll see a list of everything we can grab in our SOQL query. You can tell if a field is a standard field, if it simply looks very plain, like account source. If it has an __C, it's a custom field that we've created ourselves. So let's just grab DUNS number and active and add those to our query. And we can see it makes room for the columns. There are no DUNS numbers, so maybe another field would have been better, but you get the point. We can see whether something is active or not. And white space doesn't matter. You can add in extra spaces here or carriage returns. A lot of times I'll like to organize it, have my select line on top from, and then the next line might be a where clause. Now where is where we can specify some filtering capabilities. So if I just want to only look at ones where active equals yes, it'll get rid of these couple ones that have a blank. Now we're only pulling back the active ones. And you can put in multiple criteria for where. For instance, let's say we want to filter just on the ones where the name starts with U. So we can add other things to our filter. So this syntax here, if you've seen SQL, you'll recognize this. We'll see the name is like U, and the percentage is a wildcard. So anything that starts with U and ends with anything else. So it filters us, basically on the first letter. So as you can imagine, there's a lot more to it, and there are other things we can do with SOQL Queries. But I just wanted this to be a short introduction, not take too much time. If you want to see some of the more in-depth pieces of it, feel free to let me know in the comments, or if there's a specific area of SOQL Query that's causing you any trouble, let me know, and we can cover that in a future video. If you're interested in learning more about Apex, or even if you've been working with it for a while, I encourage you to check out my free course. I've got a free mini course on Apex patterns and anti-patterns, showing you best practices around using Apex and issues to avoid. In addition, something I'm just starting this month in September 2023 is I want to offer coaching to people who are trying to learn Apex and advance their careers using it. So ask me about it. I've got a special going on just this month in September for, I'm only going to take maybe 3 people. So feel free to reach out and let me know if this is something you're interested in. We can talk about the details. And other than that, I will see you later.